Do you know where you are? You just try to fucking flip reverse racism in South Africa. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back once again. So my usual disclaimer, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Please do not go searching out anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comment, threat, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So there was this video where this beautiful South African woman was addressing white women. Let me just go ahead and play her video.
I have a genuine question for white women. I know they don't follow me, but hopefully it will reach their side of TikTok. When you guys meet somebody new and you do this thing, is it something that you guys are taught at home? Are you raised to see that facial expression as being polite? Because from where I stand, it's just you're leading with fakeness, and it is a generational thing. So that's why I'm trying to understand where that comes from, because honestly, you do not have to do something that you don't want. You don't have to smile at me if you don't want to. You don't have to greet me if you don't want to. You don't even have to look my way if you don't want to. But you doing that thing, it formulates my perception of you, and that is that you are fake, because you're constantly leading with fakeness. So I want to understand where it comes from. Is it something that you guys are raised with? Is it seen as polite? What is it?
Okay, so that was the video, and you see that smile in question. I know that smile. I've seen that smile. It's almost like this awkward smile they do when they don't want to come out and be rude, but it's that kind of smile where you're just supposed to understand the message, the unspoken message behind it, you know. Like, I don't want to be rude, I just want to be polite, but I don't really want to be nice to you. Just like she said, it's kind of fake. So anyway, she made that video, and I believe it was directed to the white people in South Africa. But then this American white woman decided to speak up for all white people or all white women or whatever. Let me just go right ahead and play the video she made in response.
I have a genuine question for white women.
And what question is just for white women today?
When you guys meet somebody new and you do this thing,
that thing is otherwise known as a smile.
Is it something that you guys are taught at home? Are you raised to see that facial expression as being polite?
Where is this going?
Because from where I stand, it's just you're leading with fakeness, and it is a generational thing. So
really? Why exactly is this only applying to women that happen to be white?
That's why I'm trying to understand where that comes from, because honestly, you do not have to do something that you don't want. You don't have to smile at me if you don't want to. You don't have to greet me if you don't want to. You don't even have to look my way if you don't want to.
Well, thanks for that, I guess.
But you doing that thing, it formulates my perception of you, and that is that you are fake, because you're constantly leading with fakeness.
Someone mark this one off the bingo card.
So I want to understand where it comes from. Is it something that you guys are raised with? Is it seen as polite? What is it?
Am I correct in my understanding that one is saying that it's only one demographic of women that smiles at others that they may encounter throughout the day? And the fact that, yes, I actually have to explain that it is considered to be polite, and smiling is a way to actually often put others at ease, really should put all of this in perspective. There are individuals out there complaining and saying that it's fake for another person to try to be polite to another. Let that sink in.
So you can hear what that woman said. Let me play the second video that she made.
I wonder who y'all and you people could possibly be referring to in this situation. But in regards to that, just a gentle reminder, if a person is actually offended by something or perceives it as off-putting, that person has actually chosen to take offense. In this case, to something that is normally considered to be a polite gesture by millions of people. So just imagine the delicacy of a person's constitution as to be so offended by a smile. Okay,
now, did you guys notice something about her in those two videos, her facial expression? You see that smile? That fake smile. She had that fake smile throughout her two videos. And I know this particular woman, she has a large following. She's that kind of person that whenever I come across her videos, I just skip right off them because it always rubs me the wrong way. She always has something smart to say. I'm not going to say she's a bigot, but there's just something about her and the way she states her point and the things she says that really rubs me off the wrong way. And in her comment section, there are a lot of people that think like her too, always, bigging her up and all of that. So now, mind you, before she made these replies, other white people who understood what that black South African woman was saying were already making replies and telling her, oh, okay, we don't know when we do it. It's just a smile. Da, 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 da. Like they were making replies explaining why they do it and probably even apologizing for it. Replies like this.
Fakeness.
Hi. So I have definitely been taught that. I do it all the time, and I've seen a lot of creators talking about that sort of and how that's not really perceived as like the politeness that I think it is. I really just assume it's an acknowledgement. Like, I see you, I like that you exist in this world, carry on with your day. That's kind of what I mean when I do that little, it's just a little acknowledgement. I don't know how to not do that, if I'm being honest, because I catch myself doing it all the time now. And so whenever I do it, I think, oh, like, ooh, like, how cliche or whatever. But I just don't know what else to say or to do. And it feels really uncomfortable to just ignore that someone else exists. So I'm sorry, I'm going to try and find a solution to that. But we are taught it, and it is, at least my view, is that it's just a polite acknowledgement of existence.
So they understood what that South African sister was saying, but this one decided to jump in because she's so attached to the word white to defend the whiteness and everything white women do. The most interesting part now is the replies. Okay, when people actually now started coming for this particular American white woman, South African people, including the white South African women, let me just go right ahead and play their replies.
To try to be polite to another. Let that sink in.
The way I got out of bed looking like this just to stitch this video that I was just tagged in a few minutes ago. I'm actually shaking because I'm so irritated and so upset. This woman that was originally stitched is a black South African woman. Now, you might not know what South Africa went through only 30 years ago. It only ended 30 years ago, right? But your white woman and our white woman might be totally different. So before you stitch someone in such a condescending way, try and figure out if you know what you are talking about. Because me, as a South African white woman, would rather take a step back, watch what happens around me in everyday life before I make a video like the one you just did. We don't know what Americans smile like, and the smile she is talking about is not a normal one. Like, there's actually memes about this, and I've said this in the previous videos. It's more like a fucking smirk or a grimace, or I don't know what you call it, right? But what you are going on about is, it's uncalled for, and you were not invited to the South African discussion. Okay? Let that sink in.
You guys, I'm telling you, these white South African women, they came for her. For real, for real. Let's play another one.
I wonder who y'all and you people could possibly be referring to in this situation.
You are like the only woman I have ever actually seen who mansplains. What's up with that? What is up with the mean smile that doesn't meet your eyes while you condescendingly explain things wrong?
Exactly.
What is up with that? Yeah, I was being nice until I saw this. Until I fucking saw this and I saw how fucking condescending you are, and now I'm not going to be nice to you. Do you know where you are? You just try to fucking flip reverse racism in South Africa. Are you fucking kidding me? And then you explain why them getting offended is a them issue. Meanwhile, you entered a South African conversation about South African things that happen in South Africa, and you got offended. Like, what the fuck? Please stay in America. Stay in America. The only reason you got offended with what she was saying was because there was the term white in front of it, and you identified with that. You don't need to defend us. We are not the same as you. Just apologize and futsak. It's that simple.
I never would have known that the white women in South Africa saw themselves differently from the white women in America. I thought they would have that solidarity in their whiteness, you know. But this video kind of opened my eyes. The fact that they're like, this is our business, this is a family business, stay out of it. And you see that lady in question, the word I was looking for was condescending. She is always condescending in her videos. And even the way she speaks, the way she carries herself, the things she says, her opinions, I just seem to never agree with her. So I'm not surprised that she's getting this backlash that she was getting with the things that she said in that about this South African conversation. Let's play another one.
And saying that it's fake for another person to try to be polite to another.
While we're on the topic of being polite, my suggestion is that when you approach a conversation, approach it with curiosity instead of being perpetually offended. Also, try not to center yourself in these discussions, specifically if you're a white American woman, and this is a discussion relevant to South Africans, where a question is being asked. We are a new democracy, so we really don't mind having these kind of conversations. It's useful and helpful when it comes to race relations. Another thing is that you don't want to end up making a fool of yourself on the internet by inserting yourself in a conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with you. For instance, when it comes to social cues, there is research on it. And obviously, I understand when you're perpetually offended by things that you don't have time to do the research. For example, there was this study that hypothesizes, well, one of the hypotheses is that Black people and people of color actually see that fake smile as a way to not come across as prejudiced. It is probably also not a bad idea for us to enter these conversations out of curiosity, keep quiet and learn, because there has been another study that shows
There are actually studies about those smiles. That's to tell you that it's a real thing. And I actually mentioned that I know that smile. I've seen it in movies and all of that, and it's not usually a kind smile. It's not a polite smile. It's not.
that shows that white people fail at spotting fake smiles. So we could learn something from this conversation. And it was actually found that the North Americans are actually worst at spotting a fake smile. And the inability to differentiate between real and false smiles could lead to serious misunderstandings and negative repercussions in interracial interactions. So let's recap. It is not polite to be condescending when you know very little about a topic, first of all, and secondly, you entering a conversation where you have no business being. Secondly, do not center yourself and be perpetually offended about everything that people say, or in this case, ask. And finally, do some research before you get involved in these conversations.
I have a genuine question for white women.
And what question is just...
She was specifically referencing this smile, this one, and this one, littered all throughout your video. Microaggressions, gaslighting, Darvo. It really is an oppressor style. It's the oppressor style, this thing. It's their language at this point. Like how you go and release a video denying that this fake is actually polite when it's seeping with condescension, as you show the exact same fucking smile. I keep telling y'all that all that inbreeding and cannibalism that had to happen for the Neanderthals' evolution has fucked with their perennial...
She said inbreeding and cannibalism of the Neanderthals. Oh God.
gland and mind function, because there's no way you can be this hypocritical and stand in it.
Fakeness.
I agree with a lot of what OP has to say on most of her videos, but not on this one. I definitely am agreeing with the person that they are stitching, because white culture is so heavily dependent on narcissism. And that's exactly what she's pointing out here, is like, why do you have to be fake nice when you're greeting somebody? Like, why are all there these niceties? And I mean, this is kind of something that autistic people like myself have pointed out. Like, why do we have to do this all the time? Why do we have to be fake? Why is this? How are you? How are you? But then you leave the room and you're each talking about the other person with somebody else. That's like being in a room with white women. As a white woman who was raised by white women, it is excruciatingly painful to be involved in the psychological games that white women play. And that's just a fact of life and white culture. And I don't think that it's racist to point that out, because narcissism is extremely prevalent in white culture. And that's what she's talking about here.
Narcissism, microaggressions, passive aggressiveness, gaslighting. They are very, very fluent in those languages.
That sink in. How about you let some extra strength conditioner sink into the ends of that hair? It's giving brittle. But instead of doing that necessary deed, you like to do something that your people are neither accustomed to nor equipped or qualified for: thinking. And it irritates me, because instead of being in the fields picking crops, polishing some silver, or milking some cows, which is y'all's natural state, multiple people have had to waste time on making a video trying to educate you on something you'll never understand. Because manual work is y'all's calling, not thinking for yourself. Now, I'm going to explain this once, girl. And if you make another mistake like this, I'm going to sail you down the river. You look lazy anyway, sitting on your master's couch like that, chilling. And this orange fake tan don't fool me. Stealing money and sneaking off to the underground tanning salon. And I can tell not just by the orange's color and the white around your eyes. I can tell by those questionable spots on your chest. How dare you try to explain to your Bella what a smile is? But that's the problem. You don't have enough thoughts up there to understand simple questions. We know with the lifting of the corners of that slash that y'all call a mouth, that you're attempting to smile. But it means different things. For instance, your smile right here is the smile of an uppity pale trying to be condescending to her Bella, saying nonsense. This is the smile, and it's accompanied by a nod, like this. Hey girl, you better get back over here before I cut your mayonnaise ration. Sounds like that's your mistress calling. Go on there, get girl, and stay in your place. 10 out of 10.
Okay, you guys, they gave that woman a read, and she should have just minded her business and not come into the South African space. Although the original creator did not say she was addressing white South African women, but how in a hurry do you have to be, and how offended or attached to the word white do you have to be that you don't even bother to really check who that person might be addressing or what location that person is at? You know, that you just are so in a hurry to jump into that conversation, and then the way with which she responded was even what triggered people, you know. And well, you guys, let me know what you think. Do you know that smile? What do you guys think it means as a black person? Does it make you comfortable? I personally don't really. That's not a nice smile. I wouldn't want them giving me that face, and I wouldn't mess with you if you gave me that face. And for some reason, it's just spam color people that I've seen that do that smile. You guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.